Hey, what's up, folks? It's February the 7th, 2026, and I just wanted to make a video about recapping some stuff. It sounds like I say the same thing over and over, but you kind of have to hear it a lot of times to really get it. Now, on this radar that I like to use, clean long wave infrared, I'm in Houston, by the way. I'm still pointing all my equipment this way, and you can see the whole jet stream coming in is getting blocked and getting sent up here to where it like kind of just goes away. The last video that I posted, you could see it clearing all the way up. You can still kind of see it. It goes away, but it's still there. I still have 5 satellite dishes pointed this way. Up this way, this is how far it's hitting. All the way up here. So it's stopping all this jet stream coming in and goes around, and then it goes back. But right now everything's pretty mild. We're having like really warm weather. Tomorrow's gonna be like 80 degrees in Houston. And there has been weather warfare going on, though. Here's a post about it right here. Just came out not too long ago. Now this site right here, Real Raw News, it says it's satire, but they have info about cases and courts and JAG, and those dudes really can't lie or be involved in any kind of lies like that. And some of these posts here are so out there, like politicians getting hanged for being traitors, and the details are so specific, and they use enlisted soldiers' names that you can look them up. They're enlisted, and they can't really be part of lies that big if you know what JAG is all about in the Marine. Well, that's Navy, but either way, this is not satire. It's the only way to get news out during a war, because the mainstream news won't touch it. But you can go through this and read it. I'll scroll through it slowly. Okay. Here's another shot. You can still see it. You can see it better over here, where it's just hitting a wall. This whole jet stream coming in, which the yellow and the red is storm. Those are storms right there. All the red and the yellow. The green isn't really anything, and neither is the purple on this radar. When you see snow, it'll look like blue. But over here on my page, you can see all the videos. I don't have that many. Couple hundred at the most, and well, 143. You can go down. There's a lot of info here. I put a lot of clips from videos and other things too, just for entertainment, kind of like background noise and movie clips and stuff. But I get strikes for some of them, so I'm not going to put those anymore. I'm just going to put raw data for you. But you can go down here the list and see all the hurricanes that I've fought, and most of them I won. And I'll show you how I did it and what it looks like on radar, and the effects of these storms when they're getting hit by Orgone is like second to none. And just go down them if you have time and look through. They're all short videos, like under 20 minutes. And you'll kind of get a picture of what Orgone really does, the Cloudbusters. So what I did was I made a Cloudbuster cannon out of Orgone using Wilhelm Reich's kind of his design, sort of. See what we did? We changed the whole deal about Orgone. It all started when I was looking online how to make. I was first starting to make Orgone, like pyramids. I didn't know how, and so when I was making the resin part, there was bubbles in some of the mediums I was using that I couldn't get out, little tiny air bubbles. So I was looking online how to get air bubbles out of resin Orgone, and this guy pops up in videos. His name's Mike Emery, and he's in this group, a scientific group on Facebook called Bubble Tech. And between all of us, because I joined that group, between all of us, we were experimenting with Orgone and how to make it and this and that. And it turns out that there is no way to get bubbles out. It was a coincidence where I found this guy, like-minded people, and he's really smart. He's a scientist. And so we all kind of figured out how to remake Orgone, but using crystals and like all kinds of organic stuff that other people really don't use. So much stuff that you grind it together into a black, like a paste, and you put that in the middle of the Orgone, including crystals too. And that's something that Wilhelm Reich didn't use. He didn't use crystals. For his Cloudbuster, he used pipes, just regular pipes, long 20-foot pipes outside on a tripod with hoses connected to it, going into water like a stream. He would use water to current the energy, the Orgone energy, into the sky and make it rain. But he didn't know that he could stop storms too, using the same thing. And instead of current from water, we use current from facial wands, Tesla coils, and the current that piezoelectric current that crystals make whenever you squeeze them with the resin. So, and instead of his Orgone accumulators were boxes, and he would put people in there and animals, and they would heal of cancer. Anyway, his story is very unique, and it's very interesting. Once I read this guy's story, Wilhelm Reich, doctor, the inventor of this stuff, or not inventor, but he discovered it, Orgone energy. It's everywhere. It's like life force energy. It's like ki or prana. And he started seeing it under the microscope and small, and then he started curing cancer in animals and humans for free in these boxes. And all these boxes was a layer of wool and then a layer of sheet metal and a layer of wool and a layer of sheet metal all the way around. That's all it was. And it would draw the energy from the air into the Orgone energy into the box to heal you. So when we make Orgone pyramids and cones of different shapes, we project the energy outwards in every direction, or at the point where, however the shape is, it goes out instead of into a box. It goes out with more power, with more ingredients, and with electricity, the Tesla coils. And here's some of the pyramids. You can read some of the ingredients on my post section of my page, and you'll see I have 30 ingredients in there, and some of them you can't find easily, like special holy waters and magical stuff, shaman blessed beads and talismans and stuff like that from. So anyway, this is his background story, Wilhelm Reich. Very interesting. You read this guy's story, you'll know he was onto something. And when I read people's story, I know the real deal. And this guy was curing cancer and all that for free and making it rain with this Cloudbuster. And the FDA found about it, and for a mislabeling something, because he was doing this for free. So on one of his apparatus, he would mislabeled something, and the FDA put him in prison for I think a year, and he ended up getting throat cancer and dying in jail 2 weeks before he got out. He only had a year, I think, and he was curing cancer when he was out there, and all of a sudden he gets cancer in jail and dies while he's in there. And and after that, they burned all his books, all his equipment. They banned it all, and it's been 50 years, and it's just now coming out. Because everything that gets buried like that, it gets buried for 50 years. So you can read about his story. Man, he caught a bad deal because he was doing a lot of good. And then they labeled him as some like sex maniac. He was a student under Sigmund Freud, and he got into it, and he separated from Sigmund Freud from being a student because he didn't agree with because Freud was like a sex fiend, plus he was a cokehead. And Wilhelm Reich, he was talking about sex, but within cells have to like mate to reproduce and to regenerate themselves, and that's called Orgone energy. And so they twisted it into made him a sex fiend so nobody would believe him. So you read people's story, you'll see what's up. This is what he used in his Cloudbuster. Hollow tubes for the water, hoses. Very interesting stuff. So that's just a little recap for you on how all this started. So once I started making the Orgone, on one of my videos I show it that I noticed, because I put a big piece that I had like a Cloudbuster on top of a satellite dish that was laying on the floor, so it was pointing straight up. And then I looked at the radar one day when it was raining, and I saw the rain clouds disappear as they went above my area in a straight line all the way across the city. And it matched the way that the dish was set up, pointing straight up, because it's a wide dish, so the ends of it go farther like a straight line. And I noticed that, and that's when I knew. And then I put everything together about his Cloudbuster and all that, and it just came to me, all the details of it. And it works. You just have to point it the right way, and it goes through walls and everything. You just have to find your north wall and go from there, and use the radar to aid you. You know when the storms are coming, you point that way. Tornadoes, anything. Probably earthquakes too. I haven't tried all that, but I know for storms it works. So that's just a little recap for you, and I hope you guys have a good day, man. Don't worry, it always gets better. Have a good one. Thanks a lot. Over and out.